growing up in Sunday school?
Yes, Cousin Peter, we're so happy to have you join us on the front porch with your students. Sunday school has always been a part of my life. I guess from the age of maybe 5 years old, my father used to take us to Sunday school. And we just loved it. And my first remembrance was a play we had in Sunday school called The Tom Thumb Wedding. And I was the bride. But I didn't marry the young man that I married back then. But it was a favorite memory of mine. And so Sunday school has been a great instrument in my life. And particularly those plays and things help me to keep in mind a lot of the scriptures, a lot of the Word of God that has been a guide to my life. Obedience.
All right, Dr. Parker, we thank you for those reflections, and we'll let, how about Sister Patricia Jeffro? Why don't you just give us a few little remarks or reflections or memories you remember about growing up in Sunday school?
My reflection began, I was born in the South, in the country, and I remember my grandmother getting us ready on Sunday morning to take us to Sunday school. It wasn't that we had a car. Most of the time, we have to walk to Sunday school and walk back. And we was always remember that she would always have food for us when we got back home from church. And not that we was able to wear our clothes on Sunday when we get back home. We didn't play them. We had to take them off and they'd be ready for the next Sunday.
Beautiful reflection. All right. How about Elder Lee? You could just give us a quick reflection on the Sunday school.
I recall when I was 3 years old, my father and mother would go to church. My dad always sat on the front row. And he had me sitting next to him. Maybe I was mischievous, I don't remember, maybe I was not. But I always sat next to my dad. And I would listen to the choir. And when the choir was at 3 years old, remember that. I would be listening to the choir and they would sing the first verse. And I would listen to the chorus. And on the second verse and second chorus, I was trying to sing with them. On the third chorus, I was singing along with them. When we went to Sunday school, I'm a person that if someone was teaching about anything, I could see it. I could see it. If they were preaching or teaching about Daniel in the lion's den, I could see the lions. I could. If and when they were talking about Jesus and his disciples, and there were 12 of them, I could actually see them and see them moving. And I'm a visual person, and when someone is talking about something, I actually see it. And my memory of Sunday school was that I learned the scriptures. Those little, in the first, I think like kindergarten, first grade, they gave us those picture things. And I would learn those verses on that. I just learned them. It was easy for me to learn scriptures. And even today, I remember those scriptures. I do. Some people think that I can quote chapters, but I can't. But there are scriptures that I learned in Sunday school. I learned in church. I learned the Psalms in church. That's part of what I learned.
Amen. Thank you, Elder Lee. We're going to ask Evangelist Helen Gibson just share briefly, because we're going to get the young people involved in a few minutes. So go ahead, Evangelist Gibson. Give us a reflection of what you recall of growing up in Sunday school.
I was raised in West Virginia. I remember the coal stove, and I remember waking up on Sunday morning and smelling the biscuits. And the excitement that this is Sunday morning and we getting ready to go to Sunday school. And I went to Sunday school. It wasn't a choice. We had to go to Sunday school. But long before I knew how important Sunday school is, or long before I realized that it's such an integral part of the church and impacting lives and bringing people to Christ, the one thing I remember about Sunday school is that there was love and nurturing, and I felt, I heard one sister say earlier about a sense of family on the front porch. Well, that's the way I felt in Sunday school, because I'm an only child. And so to be with the children and the teachers, it truly was a sense of family for me. That's part of my memories.
Amen. Thank you, Evangelist Gibbs. All right, and lastly, before we go to our young people, Elder Gilbert, can you just share a brief reflection or memory that you recall growing up in Sunday school?
Praise the Lord. There's so many memories that I could highlight, particularly about the impact that Sunday school had on my life. It was in Sunday school that we developed a camaraderie with other young people and a competition. And the competition would be who was going to get saved first. Who was going to be baptized, who was going to receive the Holy Ghost, and that stemmed from going to Sunday school. And of course, as time progresses, it brought us into a love for the Word of God. But one of the things that I remember is growing up in Sunday school, we had the Easter programs and we had the Christmas programs, where us young people we would get dressed because it was Easter time. And back in that time, you got a new suit for Easter and you got a new suit for Christmas. Those are the only 2 times a year. And you got a new pair of shoes. Those were the only 2 times a year back in those days where you would receive new clothes, other than getting prepared for school. But it was those Easter programs where we would have our little recitations that we would have to say. The teacher would give us a little poem or something that we would have to stand up in front of the audience and declare. And they were just remarkable times, and I'm thankful to God for the foundation that Sunday school established and rooted in me.
Amen. Thank you, Elder Gilchrist. Let's give our young people, let's give our seasoned saints a heat for their reflections and sharing that with us. Amen. All right. Now, I've invited our young people, Dr. Parker, to the front porch. These young people attend Sunday school, and they may not have the same reflections or memories that you all have, because you all been in Sunday school a while, but they're coming to Sunday school. They're going to share with you all, because after their reflections, we're going to talk about some things that can bridge and close the gap that clearly exists between these 2 groups and churches. All right? So we're going to start off with Ayana, and she's just going to give a brief reflection or maybe some quick little memories about what you like and enjoy about Sunday school. Go ahead, Ayana.
In Sunday school, I enjoy learning more and getting closer to God, and I like that I can reflect on like later in life, and I can use what I learned in Sunday school and everyday life and at school.
Amen. Thank you, Ayana. Go ahead, honey. Why don't you tell porch what you enjoy and like about attending Sunday school.
What I enjoy, what I enjoy and like about Sunday school is that all the things that we do and all the scriptures that we learn and everything that we learn about new scriptures and books of the Bible that we have.
Thank you. All right, and last but certainly not least, Chandler Cummings is going to share with us. Chandler, you let us know some of the reflections and memories of things that you enjoy about going to Sunday school.
Sunday school is a great place to talk about stuff that may be going on in whether it's your actual school or like just something throughout your life. You can talk about problems that may go on, and then it's a good way to meet new people. And during Sunday school, you have a spiritual bond that connects you with whether it's your teachers or your fellow classmates. In Sunday school, you learn a lot about the Lord. It's almost like a Bible study, but it's like a Bible study, but for whatever level you are, instead of pastor just making it like universal towards the whole congregation. Sunday school is a great place to learn new things, and I'm not just talking about Christ, but like, let's say you want to expand your vocabulary, or you need help with, let's say, algebra. Sunday school is a place to talk about it, and just meeting new people is a great thing to always have.
Thank you, Chandler, for those wonderful reflections. And at this time, we're going to basically, I want you all, because like I just stated, there is clearly a gap between what we see in the rocking chairs as opposed to what we see on the crates. The dialogues are not always happening. And so we invited our young people to the front porch. We invited our seasoned saints to the front porch, and we want them together to talk about ways that they can close that gap that clearly exists between the two groups. Come up with some ideas, some ways. How can we continue to keep the dialogue open? What are some of the things we need to do to have happen that you all can assure that these conversations continue to happen, whether it's reflections or sharing them on things that they can, as Chandler was saying, there's so many things that he said he enjoys, but how can we keep that excitement still going with these types of dialogues? So you all are going to kind of come up with little ideas, and don't all talk at once, but, come up with some things. And, Dr. Parker, you're the teacher in your class. If you want to kind of start that and talk about some things that maybe you can do, some suggestions.
Yes, Sister Benita, I would suggest that we keep up with the times. We're in the technological age, and young people are more used to the visual than the lecture and the things that we did when we were younger. They lectured a lot of the times. Of course, we used the flannel board, we used a lot of those things. But now it's technology, so we just have to keep up with that and convert our lessons to the media, the devices that they are using today. And I think this will keep them interested, because we were interested because flannel board and mimeograph was all we knew. And but that kept our interest because we didn't know anything else. We didn't know anymore. But now they are dealing with cell phones and all kinds kinds of apps that they can go to and look at. And they do stay on those phones and devices a lot. So if we're going to hold their interest in Sunday school, we have to convert our lessons and put them on digital form, so forth, so that they can have something to look at as well as listen to.
Sister Jennifer, what you think? Maybe some things that we could possibly.
I think the best thing that we could really do for the young people is to have an open communication with them and understand the way they think, because they don't think like we think were thinking when we was coming up, because we had grandparents, we had our mother and father that guide us. Now, just like Dr. Parker said, they have electronic, and they on that almost 24 hours a day. And we have to be very able to understand what their needs are. If in church, if we don't meet that need, they go to the world going to teach them how to do things, because only Christ in us is the only thing they're going to see, and we got to be very sincere and very open with them.
Amen. Amen. Yes, Evangelist Gibbs.
Sister Jethro, we need to know what's on their minds. Well, my youngest son, I was kind of hard on him and pretty strict. And when he got to be a young adult, we were having a conversation, and I asked him, if you had it to do over, what would you have me do differently? And I thought he was going to say that we go to parties and do this, like we do. But what he said was, I would have you listen to me. Listen more. And so I think that's so important that we hear and listen not only with our ears but with our hearts to what that their needs are. Once I was doing, I think it was, not sure if it was a Bible class or what, but I had young people. And I asked them on little index cards to write their prayer requests. And I said to them, you don't have to sign your name, but I'm going to take these cards home and I'm going to pray over them. And it just broke my heart to read some of their prayer requests. But we don't know what's really inside of them unless we seek to know that, and that's by listening to them.
We're going to shift just a second to one of our young people. Chandler, you brought up some good points about Sunday school, but what would you like to see different between these groups? What do you think that the older saints could do to help you continue to stay excited about something? What would you like to see change as opposed to what is currently happening now?
Well, I feel like we should make Sunday school a bit more like a real school. For example, field trips, tests, and etc. Just make it like that, I guess.
So have Sunday school sort of resemble regular school.
Yes, ma'am.
Get outside the box. Your Sunday school teacher take you on a field trip.
Yes.
All right, I like that. All right. We should go back and talk to our superintendents about stuff like that. Amen. He said no business as usual. Outside the box. Thank you, Chandler. Yes, Elder Gilchrist, just you think something that we can do to continue
It's
to create
interesting that I'm sitting here with this panel because we're all grandparents. And being grandparents, you have, I think of it as a second chance for parenting. The mistakes that we made as parents, you get a do-over as grandparents. And the same interest and love that you have, that you display for your children, you display for your grandchildren equally and more. Simply said, it just means that we need to develop relationship, meaningful relationship with these young people where they know of a surety that my teacher cares for me. And that in their caring and in their presence, they're in a safe zone where they have the ability and the opportunity to share with the teacher and know that it's safe, that they're guarded, that they're protected. When this relationship is established, then there's very little that the children will withhold from you. You'll find that the conversations will be quite open, and you'll hear our children converse about things that, when I was coming up, you didn't dare think about, nor did you speak about. Today's children come out talking about what's for dinner. I'm just saying how ahead of the game that they are. They come out with certain knowledge. They're born that way these days. And here's what we say: they must have been here before. Because the intellect that our children display, to hear this young man talk about what he desires, how many of us, when we were his age, thought about that? And here we are today. We have to keep these channels of communication, true communication, open with these young people, because they're experiencing some things in life that we would never have imagined. My son teaches in the junior high school, and he shares with his mother and I horror stories of children, these children's ages, what they go home to on a daily basis, the struggles that they have on a daily basis, and then how those struggles translate to the classroom because of their environments that they come from. Well, here we are. We're supposed to be the safe haven. We're supposed to be the church of the open door, where we are open to whatever the case, whatever the situation may be. If we don't develop relationships, genuine relationships with these young people, for them to know and to understand that they have support, they have love, and they have understanding, not judgmental ears, but understanding ears. Ears that will not say immediately, will not condemn, but will embrace and say, have you thought of this way?
Amen. Real quick, we're going to get 2 more responses from our young people. Elaine, what would you like to see, sweetheart, different in some the older people and the younger? What would you like to see?
I would like to see more engagement. Children my age get distracted easily. We need more things to do while they're talking and teaching.
Okay.
Like more crafts things. More things to do with the learning process.
Amen. Give her a hand. That's exactly. You know, sometimes we can get off task as adults. She'd like to see it more interactive. You know, not just lecturing. Multifaceted. Thank you, Elaine. And Ayana, what would you like to see, sweetheart, different if you had to just kind of close the gap and keep the line of communication with the older people and the young people? What would you like to see different, sweetheart?
I would like more activities and less visual. I would like more hands-on activities to do in Sunday school. And I would like a longer time period because when you do start activities, you never get to finish.
Amen. Amen. That's something you should take back and talk to your superintendent. Longer time for Sunday school, I agree.